Hey guys, I'm Ed. This is Beachside Retirement. Welcome to my journey. Have you ever wanted an authentic tiki bar signpost? Well, today I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you how to make it authentic and real, give you all the details, all the shortcuts, and I'm going to show you mine that I've got and one more I'm in the process of making. Here we go. Stay with me. So right here, we're at my tiki bar. Check this guy out. This guy's been up and running for probably 8 years. It looks a little weathered, but that's what makes it authentic. And I'm going to show you how to make your own, the tips and tricks from a licensed contractor. And I'm going to show you why you need this. Just going to give you a little overview of what we got here. So in our bar, we're in the Northeast, we're in Maryland here. And first thing we did, we picked topics that were fun to our heart, close to our heart, things we loved. So where I'm standing, if you look at this guy, 1,263 miles south is Key West. That's right. I sat out here one day with Google Earth and I Googled where these destinations were. St. Thomas, 1,604 miles that way. So you could do the same thing. I'm going to show you, I'm going to take time, I'm going to break down all the details and how to do it, what makes it great. But basically, I just wanted to show you this guy right here. This was something I made years ago to kind of bring the tiki bar together, make it look real. And we just picked things that were great to us. Southern California, we loved, didn't do the mileage on that one. Los Cabos, great place, Cabo San Lucas. That's a long one, 2,931 miles due west. But you too can make this. Now I'm going to take you over here real quick, let you check out this. This is a disassembled Tiki Sign Post. So I had this one at our beach house in Fenwick Island, Delaware. Check it out. Pretty badass, right? Now what we did with this one is, again, my daughter and I, we just chose destinations that were close to our heart, places we used to visit. This used to be a pizza shop down there. And we cut these out of wood, hand cut them, painted them, sealed them up. Last year I took this one apart because it's been, turn this around here for you. It's been a while, it's been up, so it was kind of weathered. So I took it into the shop more or less and just did a little detail work to it to keep it in good shape, took it apart. This weekend we're going to take it back down, we're going to reinstall it, and I'm going to show you the details. But what I'm going to do in a moment, I'm going to put this camera on a stand. That way it's easier for me to show you some of these things, that give you some tips. But again, if you ever decided to have or wanted to have one of these tiki signs in your tiki bar, your backyard, or on your deck, you basically just need a wood post to mount it to. Doesn't have to be necessarily a 4x4. I've used like landscaping timbers. You definitely want to use something bigger than a 2x4 because that'll tend to bend and twist over time from my experience. So if you go with a 4x4 or just some type of a strong post, and we'll get into talking about how to install it. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go grab a few things and set this camera on a stand, and then I'm going to show you some details. Hang in there. See you soon. All right, guys, we're back. So first thing I want to tell you, making your signs, making your tiki posts, the first thing you're going to want is wood. I advise you use wood. Okay, my preference, will come over here with me. I like 1-bys. This is scrap that I've had from the job site. You go to Home Depot, Lowe's, or your local supply house. But this stuff is called 1-bys. If you look at it, it's about 3/4 inch thick this way. This is a 1x4, just a scrap piece. It's kind of short. I'm going to show you. Here's a longer one. This is what I would recommend using if you've got it. If you don't have it, you can go out and purchase it. Not too expensive. You can get 8-foot length. If you got a truck, you can get 16s, get more out of it, but 8 foot's easy enough to carry. I'm going to show you this here. This is scrap. This is a 1x12. Again, for me being a contractor, I would save all my cutoffs, all my scraps from stuff, and later kind of turn them into hobbies and projects. So if you've got something like this and you're good with hand tools, you can always cut this guy down. You know, don't ever waste anything. You got stuff like this, set it aside in your garage or in a shed. At some point, you can turn it into an awesome craft, or you could turn around as a side hustle, turn it in and make money out of it. This is a 1x4. Actually, this is a 1x3, but it's not primed. It's raw wood. What I encourage you to do, if you can, get this stuff. If not, you can go with the untreated, not untreated, excuse me, the unfinished stuff. But what you want to do, put a coat of white paint on here. It can be regular latex paint. You can have flat, eggshell, semi-gloss, satin, doesn't matter. But get a primer coat on here, because what happens when you go to put your paint on, it'll pop more. Like, let me show you this guy. If you look at that closely, you can see the colors, how vibrant they are. Or let me grab a different one. Like this guy. If you were to paint these blues on top of this unfinished wood, wouldn't really pop as well. So step one, get some wood, acquire some wood, grab some of your extra left over. Number two, this is the fun part. Cut them into shapes, decide your length. If you look over here, I've got short stubby ones, I've got longer ones. What you want to do, again, I don't have any power tools out here with me, but I'm assuming you are already handy to some degree with tools. If not, find somebody in your family that is. But you're going to want to shape these. Most of mine, I put some kind of point on the front, but not always the same point. Sometimes it just points on one side. Be different. The key with making it authentic is not to be the same everywhere. Because I see people that have these posts. We have our campground down at the beach, and every single sign is super clean, the same exact shape. Yeah, it's nice. But if you're after that really authentic look, what you want to do, and here, let me show you. So see this guy? Look at the tail. It's got a little bit of a swoop. See this tail? How it's got that double cut on it? See the thickness? This is thicker, this is thinner. The length is slightly different. What you want to be is random. I really think that's the way to get your authenticity. Same thing with this. When you're cutting these guys out, don't worry about being perfect. Sometimes I leave the front of it fatter than the tail. Again, when you're in the islands, if you've ever been in the Caribbean, you've ever been to Key West, and you find a sign and you're like, wow, that's got character. That's the beginning to give it character. You want to like shake it up a little bit with the sizes. So the other thing I don't advise using, don't use regular 2x4s. They're too thick and bulky. They tend to twist. For some reason, I've found that just a regular 1x4 is the perfect starting point. That's the best basic thing to do. But once you get this going, here's the next thing you're going to want. I use basic acrylic paints. You can use fancier stuff, but you can get this on Amazon rather inexpensive. You can get it at Walmart for like $1.50 a tube. And I've got different sizes. When you do a lot of painting, sometimes it makes more sense. And look at the bright, vibrant colors. I just get larger sizes. But this is the best stuff. Acrylic paints. You put them on there, and this is the best way to do it. And I've done this a bunch. Just take a paper plate. Now I would probably get a bigger paper plate, but take your paint. Don't try to work out of the tube. Take the tube, shake it up, make sure it's mixed well. Squirt it onto a plate. But squirt several colors at the same time. And the cool part about these signs is you don't really want discretion with the colors. Like, I'm going to go back over here again. See the way the oranges and the yellows and the reds, they kind of blend together? The key to really making these colors come out. Now, I'm not sure if you can see this, but I've put a little bit of paint on the tray here. Paint here. Once you get the green going, mix it with the other green. So instead of just this one color and another color, once you actually let that brush mingle, and then you take that new color, and then you apply it on something, you come up with a third color. So I encourage you to, try to do that when you start your painting. Like, get your background color, what is white. Maybe go ahead and do like I did here. I pretty much used a blue, 2 different kind of blues, 2 or 3. Paint your background, and then put your wordage on top. Get everything going. Again, this is a great hobby, a great craft that you don't need a lot of money. You can get these basic brushes here. Harbor Freight, super inexpensive. You want to get some more detail, little brushes, again, for your words, or if you've got really good detail painting to do. Maybe something a little bit wider, but smooth to get a nice image. So depending if you've ever done any painting before, experiment with the brushes. But I'm talking, for $20, you can be up and running. Rubber gloves. I tend to make a mess. Again, very inexpensive, Harbor Freight or Amazon. I've got this big bag full of all my paints. My daughter and I share this. We just keep old brushes, towels. Again, great way to start. Small investment, and you could be making all kind of crafts. I've got things all over this tiki bar I'll show you at some point that we made. But basically, piece of wood, shape it how you want, get it primered if it's not already primered, put your color on, get your design, put your wordage, let it dry. Let it dry is an important step. Once it dries, this is what I did yesterday. I was out here applying a couple coats of exterior poly to keep these weatherproof. So you want to make sure you do that. That way it stays good to the weather. And once you assemble this and put it out, now the weather's going to get to it. Sorry about that. That's Charlie out there barking at another, probably a bunny rabbit in the yard. But anyway, you get the exterior coat of clear on there. That's super important. And use good quality. You could get water-based. There's a lot of different brands depending on where you live. But again, wear gloves with that. That stuff can be messy. Put a few coats on. Let it dry in the sun like these are. Then you end up with, there's a tiki sign. Now what I like to do on mine, after you get all that color going, you're probably thinking, what about the back? Over the years, I've decided, do a black on the back. I've left them unfinished, and that's fine as well. But when you've got these up, and they're facing on different directions, like over here, if you can see, I got a little bit of color, different color. A lot of those look unfinished. That was the first one I ever built. But where we're at, if you put black on the back, it's just an option, you don't have to. And put a exterior clear over top of that as well. It just makes it pop a little more. All right, so you got the signs all made. Now you got to do the post. All the ones that I've done have been on a wood post. This guy over here, I've got a big pressure treated 4x4. It's sturdy, it's in the ground, it's also screwed to something else there. Lately I've been using these landscape timbers. They're kind of like a 4x4, a little different shape, but it allows you to have room to mount these. You don't want to put them on a 2x4 that's going to bend and twist and curve with the sun and the moisture. You want something that's rigid. So figure out what works for you, whatever height. You know, you could probably put all these on a wall. Maybe you don't put them on a post. Maybe you just got a wall and you just stack them straight down and attach them. That's fine too. From my experience, the best way to attach it to that, this is what I use. Grab this. I just use my trim gun. Put this guy up. I put like 6 or 7 trim nails right in the center because they make minimal impact. You could probably see these holes, but I don't even worry about covering them up with putty. I just nail it on there. They've got, for those of you who've never seen this, you know, these little nails, once they come off, there's hardly any ahead. I use longer ones. This was just in there, but basically that's the go-to way to do it. If you're going to use screws, don't use regular screws. Use a trim screw with a very minimal head. Like a, if you've ever installed cabinets or if you go to Home Depot or Lowe's, they're trim screws. They come with a special tip, a very small head. You don't want to put a bunch of screws in here that mess up the face, then your color goes away. So whatever you come up with, maybe a little glue in the back, trim nail from an air gun if you got it, borrow it from somebody in the family, or if you have to, maybe 2 trim screws with a small head, and then you can touch up if needed. So you got all that going. The other thing to consider for authenticity. Now I've had friends down at the park where we are, they saw ours, this one when it was assembled, and like, hey, we want to make one. So what they did, they wrote like names of friends of theirs that live near them, like Joe's place, that way, Lisa's place, that way. And they just used names of people that they knew. But the authenticity part, let it point to the correct direction. Like if you look over here, this Los Cabos, that's pointing west because that's where it's at. Fiji, 7,801 miles west. We've got Ocean City, Maryland, that way, south. Pick your titles if you do the ones with destinations and consider having them aimed to the correct directions. It gives a little more, you know, conversation piece when you're sitting around having drinks with your friends, an island cocktail. But it makes it better. And lastly, let's see, what am I missing out on? So we got the making it, we got the finishing it. How many do you do? Sometimes you gotta, that's actually something maybe to consider before you start building this one. This guy's pretty tall, so I've got a bunch. For the one at the beach at the RV place that we're going to tomorrow, which I'll show you when I reinstall it, I'll make another video. But I've only got 12. So you're basically, you've got one this way, one that way. You got 4 directions: east, west, north, and south. So consider for one layer, that's 4, if you're doing a post. So I got 12, that's 3 layers. That's probably going to give me about 4 feet of height, and that's plenty because I have some decorations underneath. So anyway, hope you liked the video. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed this. Consider subscribing to my channel. I try to put out some good content for those of you that are like the beach lifestyle like I do. And again, being a licensed contractor all my life, I've always built things on the side. I think a lot of the stuff you guys are going to like that I'm going to share with you. You can do this. This is not a hard project. The hardest part, and you got to be safe, is cutting this stuff out. Wear eye protection. Wear gloves. If you're not handy with that, find somebody to do it for you. You don't want to get hurt. But if you are good with it, it's limitless. You can make these. You could sit out here in the yard like I do. You could probably generate in one day 50, 60, 70. Easy. Cut these things up. Take a couple of days, paint them up, sell them. There's a side hustle. But for me right now, I just entered into retirement. I'm just freshening up my Tiki sign, sharing with you how to make it. So, as I always say, I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe out there. Be kind to people. Hope you like the Bob Marley in the background. Love you guys.